Hello, I'm Eduardo. I've traveled and lived in 50 countries, and I spent the last 6 years in Thailand. I learned things I'd like to share with you. This is about my experiences in Asia. Things you should know or be prepared for in Asian countries like Thailand, the Philippines, Cambodia, Laos, and Vietnam. This is the experience of a 61-year-old person on Pattaya Beach. On the beach at night, things got wild. Two people decided this was a perfect place for, let's say, intimate exercises, to put it mildly. Well, right there on the beach and right in front of the police station. Perhaps in another country this is normal or doesn't carry a prison sentence, but this is Thailand. Yes, you heard right in front of the police. That's right, onlookers are shocked and pull out their phones. Yes, someone calls the police, but the couple continues with their exercises. They don't stop at all. The police had to separate them, like when you separate two dogs stuck together in a play. He is 34 years old. He looks like a normal guy, and she says, "Get ready, you're 61 years old." His explanation to the police, and I quote, was, "I couldn't help it," he said. Dude, what happened to you? Did something just take over? Were you so desperate you didn't care about the consequences? Now you're both facing Thai law and could spend the rest of your lives in prison or be banned from Thailand. And all for what? Let me tell you, this story is crazy from the start, and believe me, it's going to blow your mind. Friday night in Pattaya. The heat has subsided, but it's still humid as hell. Tourists are enjoying the breeze on the beach. Some are already a little tipsy, heading back from the bars. Others are just stepping out of their hotels for some fresh air. There's music, street vendors shouting their wares, and the smell of grilled fish. Just another Friday night. Nothing suggested that, within an hour, the entire internet would be talking about what happened at that very moment on the beach. Something went terribly wrong that night. On one of the beaches in the city of Pattaya, right in front of the Pattaya Central Police Station, at the famous Soi 9, a scene unfolded that left those present frozen. Two people, completely forgetting where they were, had intimacy right there on the sand, in full view of everyone under the streetlights in the city center. Many stories from this city unfortunately end badly, very badly, and I could spend years telling you stories about this incredible place, but this one surprised even me. Not because it's scandalous on the part of the people involved, but because these individuals managed to choose an absolutely unbelievable location in time for this right in front of the police station. Can you imagine the level of recklessness? Look, Pattaya is a city of contrasts. On one hand, there's an atmosphere of freedom and relaxation. People come here to escape routine, strict rules, and everyday life. On the other hand, this is still Thailand, a country with certain cultural norms and laws, and what might seem innocent romance under the stars can have serious legal consequences. Passers-by couldn't believe what they were seeing at first. Some looked away, others stopped. In a state of shock, some pulled out their phones. Today, anyone with a camera is a potential witness and journalist at the same time. And when several decent citizens realized that the couple wasn't going to stop the intimate act, but posted it, they did the only thing they could do at that moment in that situation. They started giving them technique tips. Just kidding. They called the police. The irony of the situation is that the police didn't even have to go far. They literally arrived in a minute because they were just meters from the police station and were already on the scene. Can you imagine the officer's attitude? His reaction? They had seen a lot during their years of service in Pattaya. This city knows how to surprise even the most seasoned professionals. But this level of audacity, this disregard for the basics. Decency and respect. When the police arrived at the scene, the lovers were still continuing their exercises, they hadn't stopped. The officers had to interrupt the exercise, which created a rather awkward situation for everyone involved. The couple was being held at the scene of the crime, so to speak. There's no way to deny it. What happened, the numerous witnesses, and the location all spoke for themselves. That's right, and this is where it gets really interesting. Imagine the police officers' reaction when they saw these two. That's right, they were probably expecting to see a young, drunken tourist couple who'd lost their minds at Romance Tropical. Instead, they found a middle-aged man and a woman who was about to retire, if she wasn't already. The police must have figured it out. The boy was having some kind of tantrum, or he just loves older women. I mean, she's very mature. She's 34, a perfectly grown adult who should already understand the consequences of her actions. But the most surprising part is the woman's age. He is 61 years old. 61, age difference, 27 years, almost 3 decades. And this couple not only couldn't wait to meet in a private place. They decided the beach in front of the police station was the perfect spot for their romantic date. This adds a new dimension to the story. On the one hand, you might say that love knows no age, and if they found each other, why not? On the other hand, at 61, you should definitely have enough life wisdom not to do this kind of foolish thing in public. This is not youthful recklessness, it is not a mistake of inexperience. This is a conscious choice by two adults who should have known what they were doing. Now, let's talk about the legal side of this story. Many tourists mistakenly believe that in Thailand, especially in Pattaya, they can do whatever they want. Yes, the atmosphere here is more relaxed compared to many other countries. Yes, locals are generally very tolerant of tourist antics, but there are clear limits that you can't cross. Committing indecent acts in a public place is a criminal offense under Thai law, not an administrative one. If you commit an infraction, you can pay a fine and avoid actual criminal charges. The statute provides for real punishment, including imprisonment and deportation for foreigners. And these are not empty threats. Thai justice is quite strict when it comes to public violations of social morality. For the foreigner, the situation is even worse. Furthermore, the criminal penalty they face is deportation with a ban on re-entry to the country for several years, possibly forever. Imagine a night of passion, a few minutes of madness, and your whole life changes drastically. No more Thailand, no more tropical beaches, no possibility of returning to a country that may have become your second home. When the foreigner was asked how he could have committed such a stupid act, his answer was painfully simple and at the same time surprisingly naive. I couldn't help it. Me. You know, just like that, without complex explanations, without trying to justify themselves with the circumstances, they simply couldn't help it. Himself. That's right, considering his age, it seems the guy has had specific issues and preferences since childhood. His female classmates at school, but his teachers, or maybe his grandmother's friends, seemed particularly attractive to him. Joking aside, as if this explanation could somehow soften the blow or alter the legal consequences. This makes you think about the nature of human desires and how we experience them. Sometimes I let emotions completely cloud my judgment. In the modern world where cameras are everywhere, where social media is everywhere, rules and laws operate 24/7, where a tempting act can be recorded on video and spread across the internet in minutes. The atmosphere of the tropics can create an illusion that what is happening is not real. People feel as if they are on vacation from their own lives, as if the normal rules no longer apply to them. It's the holiday effect when it seems like it. You exist in some parallel reality where there are no consequences. But reality always returns. And it does. It is especially difficult when the law is broken. In a foreign country where the law and system are different, things can be very different from what you are used to. Thai authorities have. They've become increasingly strict with tourists. Their behavior has worsened in recent years. There have been too many cases of foreigners acting as if local laws and cultural norms don't apply to them. This story is not just a curiosity from the evening news. This should be a wake-up call for everyone coming to Thailand to relax. Respect the local culture. Culture and laws are not just a matter of courtesy, it's a matter of your own safety and future. One foolish act can cost you your freedom, money, reputation, and ability to travel. Think about the Thai woman in this story, too. The consequences will be severe for her as well. In Thai society, despite the apparent liberalism of tourist areas, public displays of intimacy are considered extremely indecent. This woman will now face not only legal problems, but also social repercussions, which can be very painful in Asian culture. Local residents are already accustomed to tourist oddities. I've seen plenty of drunken foreigners barely able to stand, scandals, fights, inappropriate behavior. Even a friend doing the same thing inside, in the sea, but even by the standards of this city, which some call the Thai Las Vegas, this case was extraordinary. Right in front of the police station, you must be crazy or drunk. Do you know what the saddest part of this story is? It is absolutely predictable. And absolutely preventable. If these two had stopped and stood still for a while without thinking about the consequences. If they had sought a secluded, private spot, if they had simply waited until they returned to their hotel, nothing would have happened. Their personal life would have remained their own business, and there would have been no legal issues. But they chose a public city beach center in front of the police with witnesses. This isn't just passion. It's not like that anymore. It's some kind of mental breakdown. And now they'll both have to pay a very high price for these few minutes of madness. The police filed a report, took witness statements, and gathered all the necessary evidence. The case has been sent to court. Now, the judge will decide, assessing the degree of culpability and the circumstances of the case, and will issue a sentence. In the best-case scenario, this will result in a substantial fine and a suspended sentence. Worst case, real time in prison and guaranteed deportation from abroad. These stories serve as a reminder that freedom doesn't mean permissiveness. Pattaya is an amazing city where you can have a great time, relax, and enjoy life. But that doesn't mean there aren't rules. The laws exist and they work, and breaking them has very specific consequences. This story should serve as a lesson for other tourists. When you arrive in a foreign country, you automatically agree to abide by its laws and respect its culture. This is not a limitation of your freedom. Respect for the place where you are staying is a basic principle, and it is in your own best interest to avoid violating it. Legal problems. Pattaya authorities have been actively working to improve the city's image lately. They want to attract more respectable tourists, develop family tourism, show that Pattaya is not just adult entertainment, but a beautiful resort with wonderful beaches, interesting culture, hospitable people, and incidents like this are truly punished. Those plans. That's why the police have to be much stricter in responding to any breach of public order. When you could get away with a warning or token fines, things are happening. Now, law enforcement is showing that the law works equally for everyone, whether you're a tourist or a local. This story also reveals another important aspect of life in Pattaya. It's impossible to go unnoticed here. The city is small. People know each other. Tourist areas. They are constantly under surveillance by both the police and local residents and other tourists. The illusion of anonymity that a big city provides doesn't work here, especially if you're doing something so outrageous. Right? Now, while the investigation continues, both detainees are prohibited from traveling. They are barred from leaving the country until sentencing. For a foreigner, this means being stuck in Thailand indefinitely, spending money on accommodation, lawyers, and potential fines. That's right, all your vacation savings, all your future plans, everything goes down the drain because of one thoughtless act. Lawyers, of course, will try to soften the blow. They may cite alcohol intoxication, cultural differences, the fact that the accused are remorseful and realize their mistake. But the fact remains that the rape was public, it's atrocious, and it can't be ignored. It's interesting what other expats and tourists in Pattaya think about this case. For example, the local foreign communities are having heated discussions. Some say they got what they deserved for violating public decency. Others think the punishment is too harsh for what it is, after all, it's a natural human desire. Still others simply laugh at the detainees' stupidity. That's right, but most people agree on one thing. This was an incredibly stupid act that could have easily been avoided and serves as a warning to everyone else. Think with your head, not your hormones, especially when you're in a foreign country. That's right, local Thais react to this story with their own characteristics, a mixture of surprise and condescension towards the strangeness of foreigners. They're used to foreigners, sometimes they behave unpredictably, but even for them, this was a surprise. On social media and in the news, Thai users are sharing their opinions, and many are wondering how anyone could even think of such a thing. So there you have it, folks. A story that began as a romantic adventure under the stars of a tropical night ended in a police case, a criminal case, that threatens prison and deportation. All because two people couldn't control their desires and chose a completely inappropriate option to act on them. This story is a lesson for us all. A lesson that passion should not cloud reason. That doesn't mean freedom doesn't mean permissiveness. That laws exist for a reason and breaking them has consequences. And age doesn't guarantee wisdom if a person hasn't learned to think before acting. Pattaya remains an incredible city where amazing stories happen every day. Some are funny, some are sad, and some, like this one, are both at the same time. But they all remind us that life is unpredictable and our decisions matter. Be sensible, friends. Enjoy life, but remember the limits. Love, but with respect for others and for yourself. And remember, whatever you're doing, the police station could be just around the corner. In Europe or another country that might be normal, but not in Thailand. Now, a question for you. What punishment do you think this couple will receive? A fine and a suspended sentence, or real prison time with deportation? Write in the comments what you think about this story. And I will be following developments and we will definitely follow up when the court approves the sentence. If you found this interesting, please click the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thailand, believe me, is never boring. Here. See you in the next videos.